Our next speaker has had to overcome their own personal injury story to make sure that our students in our area have had enough to eat, and draws on the cultures of home to make sure that happens for our students here in the Five College area. Please welcome Jamil, Asad, Ubinas.
It's February of 2022. I still remember the rush during lunch service at Valentine Hall. We were low on staff, and I was anxious as our guests kept lining up, and we needed to stock the line. Our staff needed support, and I decided to give them all the help I could. And as I approached the elevator, it was extremely busy based on the time. So I decided to go for the stairs. And one misstep and everything else is a blur. I can't tell you how long I spent at the bottom of the staircase in the floor. But when I wake up to loud screams and a lot of commotion, and I tried to get up and I couldn't move, fear got a hold of me. Muffled sounds and weird silhouettes surrounded me. And as I was being strolled out of the facility, I didn't understand exactly what was happening or where I was going. They put a mask in my face, and medication did its thing. I pass out. When I finally wake up to this weird feeling of wanting to stand up and run, but couldn't really move, I finally see a face that I recognize. My wife sitting next to me, hoping for me to open my eyes. As I'm being cared for, I gotta reset my time frame, as when I wake up, I'm thinking I'm in the middle of December, and my wife has to bring me back and tell me we are in February. Unfortunately, that's not the only thing that I forgot. I couldn't remember my second child's first ultrasound, which has happened just the day before. Just knowing that I didn't miss it, but it got erased from me, that broke my heart. Being alone at night and in pain gave me a lot of time to think. And among those thoughts, I started transporting myself to a very special moment. I guess trying to be positive, I transported myself to the moment where I was being awarded my culinary degree in la Universidad Interamericana de Puerto Rico in 2007. I still remember el primer arroz con gandules que hice, and the garlic and butter as I smashed my first mofongo. Qué días. Also, I started remembering how I fell in love with food. And here I see my parents, as they create this amazing Palestino-Boricua fusion in our kitchen. How my mom would cook this beautiful dish where the sumac and the sofrito dance together in the pot cuando mami hacía carne guisada. In that moment, I realized that although being 14 years old, I knew that I belonged in a kitchen. And then, when nostalgia is wrapping me, there I am, wrapped in my Puerto Rican flag, making mofongo con carne frita by the shore of Hobos Beach in Isabela in Puerto Rico. Then I see myself as I'm yelling, "Yes, chef," doing a catering event for 2,000 people at the Everglades Club in Palm Beach in 2012. All these memories came flooding me. As I didn't know what was going on in my actual life, I just transported myself. Then I see myself as I'm cooking, celebrating what I love to do the most. And I keep thinking if I'm ever going to be able to do this again. Then, as if I'm in a movie, I start seeing the time where I met my beautiful wife. When she used to come to the restaurant I worked at and order her favorite food. By the way, she used to come to check me out, but we'll keep that as a little secret. The moment we said I do, and all these special moments. I also remember when she come to visit me while I was directing my staff, and she would bring my firstborn. As I'm singing Despacito while grilling steaks for an event at the Red Barn for Hampshire College in 2018. All these memories continue to fill my head. And I think about how after 14 years together, she still is the column that keeps lifting me up. But am I going to be able to be that column and lift her up? Then again, I hear my voice yelling, "Yes, chef." And for me, that was a reassurance that yes, I will. As time went on, frustrations got a hold of me. I was dealing with many injuries. I was struggling to feel my legs, 80% hearing loss in my left ear, and this vertigo that kept spinning me. I continue to try to do the best I could with managing my mindset, as that was the biggest setback that I had. I started turning angry and bitter. I started feeling shame, being ashamed of myself. I wanted to leave far, forget about everything and start over. Just because I didn't want the people that knew me to see me in the state that I was on. So as I'm going through all this journey in my head, I continue to think how to manage this without having to succumb to pain medications just because they were accessible. And it's funny because I continue to go to treatments, and after a few weeks, I thought I was going to be up and running. And those few weeks turned into a month, and a month into several months. And as I'm working to try to get back up in my feet and get back to work, my body kept telling me that I wasn't going to be able to. And when I was on the verge of saying I give up, and professionals telling me to rethink my career, I did not allow that to stay with me, and I said that I needed to stand back up. And as I pushed forward to do so, I finished, after 13 months of therapies, neurologist visits, and everything else in between, I stand up and I start walking to my new beginning. In April of 2023, I get an opportunity in the third college that I would end up working for, Smith College here in Northampton. They had an amazing dining services team. They were looking for someone passionate with culinary knowledge to take care of their food service software. And I'm like, wait a minute, software? With limited IT knowledge, I did not know if that was going to be a right fit for me. But they trusted my skill, and they awarded me the opportunity to do so. And after almost 2 years, I can happily say that I'm part of the dining services team at Smith. Dreams, thank you. Dreams do come true. And one day, I will be able to show more of Puerto Rico around the world through my approach to our gastronomy and culture. But in the meantime, follow me closely, because I will be Boricua even at the moon. Y por eso soy Boricua hasta en la luna. Gracias.